There are 7 universal laws by which we must abide by. I know I was going to talk about duality first, but we're going to actually start from number 1 because that just makes the most sense, I guess you can say. So we're going to learn about mentalism. Mentalism, how the creator brings about everything through a state of thought. So that's number 1. See you inside. Hi, my name is Stephen Yarbrough, and I help you get through this incarnation one day at a time, just like I'm trying to do myself. So the first topic, or the first subject we're going to talk about in the 7 Hermetic laws is the law of mentalism. That's the first one. And what that basically says is that all is mind. So the creator, God, whoever, like I said, you always say, whoever you subscribe to is, it all starts through this one thing, which is thought, right? So the way we think about this is a long time ago, right? When the earth was still cooling, actually way before that. God, the creator, had a thought. It was kind of sitting out there and it was like, hey, I know I am, but that's all about it. That's all I know. I know that I exist. So I wonder what I am, right? So and then in that instance is the first thought, right? So the first thought was by the creator. I am. What am I, right? So that brings on this whole process of things being able to be created, right? And we'll learn about vibrations and things like that. So after that first thought is how things are created. So once the creator had that thought of I am, it was able to in turn kind of retrospect and look back at itself and say, okay, now that there's something else out there that can give me a reference of what I am, this is how things work. So this is who I am. So that's how, in a tiny little nutshell, how we create thoughts too, because we come from God, the creator, the one thing, right? Okay. So, I kind of put this into perspective the way when I was a child. This is the weirdest way I guess you could think about this, but I learned that thoughts become things really early on when I had this. It was actually October 31st. It was on Halloween, and I was a young kid, and I was giving out candy, and I didn't have much candy, but I only had this big bag of my favorite things, which I think everybody's favorite, Reese's peanut butter cups, right? So I was like, all right, so we had these little trick-or-treaters, and I was like, all right, let me go grab me some of my peanut butter cups so I can, give out to these kids, right? So anyway, the kids kept coming by, and I gave out all my peanut butter cups, and for some reason I kept thinking to myself, I was like, you know what, it's okay. It's okay that I gave away all my peanut butter cups because somehow I'll just, get some more. Anyway, fast forward a couple hours later, we went to my grandmother's house out in Los Angeles, and come to find out, she goes, here, and she gives me a giant bag of peanut butter cups. I don't know why. This is like my first memory of how in the world did this correlate when I gave all away my peanut butter cups and then now I get a whole bag of them. I know it's the most childish way to kind of put things into perspective, but that what kind of got me started thinking, right? So, fast forward 30 years later, when you start to really dig into these things, actually I went to school for religion and things like that. So this isn't like a foreign topic to me, but I started thinking, I had other things along in life that made me start thinking, how in the world do these things just correlate? I can think these things and then they'll happen. And it's not far from what I want. But anyway, so once we can actually understand that, we can start to move through things. We can start to think differently in order to move through this 3D process. So the first thing you kind of remember, or you'll start to see, is synchronicities. Everyone always talks about synchronicities. If you look at the clock, you see 11:11, or you see 1, 2, 3, or whatever. These synchronicities are things that are you actually literally you're thinking these things, and they're trying to show them to yourself that, hey, these things that you are seeing, these things that are happening to you, they're not just random. None of it's random. They're things that are put there for you to start to say, hey, start to notice these things, start to awake to these little things that are just happening in your life, these synchronicities. So I always go back to number one, mentalism. All is mind. The creator is mind. The creator thought, who am I? And in that turn, he made something other than itself, or she or it or whatever, made something other than itself to be able to look back upon itself and kind of understand, hey, I am this through my observations, right? And it was the thought process that brought that about. Here's another random example. I don't know, you thought that you wanted a car one day, and say you wanted a Porsche. And you didn't know where you were going to get a Porsche, but, at some point in your life, you did random things. Maybe you got a job. Maybe, you did these things, and maybe you didn't buy the Porsche that you thought you wanted. Maybe you bought an older model, but you still bought a Porsche of, probably some caliber that you wanted from back then. These little things that get stuck in here always manifest, no matter what it is. It may not manifest directly in the way you thought it would, but it's going to manifest in a certain way. So, number one, the all is mind. Mentalism is how the creator moves through creating everything, and it's the same way that we do. So the things that go in our brain, the things that come out of our actions, have a direct correlation to how our life basically comes out, and we really have to take that into account. So that's number one. Seven. One of the first 7 Hermetic laws is mentalism. All is mind, and I hope that gives you a little bit of clarity. There's a lot more stuff, but if you can at least grasp the small concepts, everything else kind of unfolds after that, I guess you can say. So, all right. Smash that subscribe button. I promise these things will get a little bit better, and so I can keep doing this. We'll keep talking about the more the Hermetic laws as we go on, and hopefully you guys get a little bit of something out of it, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.